If you were locked in a room for hours with two options to pass the time, a thick, challenging book or a smartphone connected to the internet, most of us would instinctively reach for the phone. Within minutes of sitting in that silence, a specific restlessness begins to set in. The brain interprets this lack of input as a signal of distress, triggering a biological aversion to understimulation that feels almost like a physical itch. The trillion-dollar attention economy has weaponized this reflex. By providing a relentless, rapid-fire stream of content, these platforms ensure we never have to confront that internal discomfort, effectively eradicating boredom from the modern experience. This continuous digital feeding eventually results in chronic overstimulation. As the brain becomes conditioned to immediate 30-second dopamine fixes, it loses the stamina required to sustain focus on long-form, complex challenges. Boredom is frequently misinterpreted as a negative void that needs to be filled. In reality, it functions as the necessary baseline state for any high-level cognitive processing. The history of human innovation proves this. Archimedes discovered buoyancy while stepping into a bath. Nikola Tesla visualized the mechanics of alternating current while walking idly through a park. J.K. Rowling conceptualized the entire world of Harry Potter while sitting on a delayed train. These breakthroughs didn't arrive during periods of intense activity. They struck during forced mental downtime, moments where the brain was starved of external distraction and left to its own devices. The very state we spend our lives trying to engineer out of existence, boredom, is the most historically reliable catalyst for human genius. A 2014 study at the University of Central Lancashire tested this by splitting participants into two groups. One group performed an active task, manually copying numbers, while the second group performed a highly monotonous task, simply reading those numbers aloud. This chart shows the results of a secondary creativity test involving the uses for a simple brick. While the active group performed well, the group subjected to the intensely boring task showed a significant surge in original ideas. Reclaiming this creative capacity begins with scheduling boring hours. These are dedicated windows of time where the brain is deliberately isolated from all digital input. This requires a rigid dopamine detox, completely eliminating phone use for several hours after waking up and several hours before going to sleep. When you deliberately starve the brain of cheap, high-stimulation inputs, the mind naturally begins to organize its own scattered thoughts. Over time, the static of digital anxiety is replaced by a state of extreme mental clarity. Modern media values only the climax, the punchline of a short video, the end of a movie, or a game's final score. This conditions us to view the work itself as a secondary obstacle to the reward. A Japanese piano craftsman approaches production with a different perspective. When making iron plates for a piano, he doesn't track his daily quota. His focus is applied entirely to perfecting the single plate sitting directly in front of him. This mindset is the foundation of mindful single-tasking. It involves stripping away all thoughts of promotion, potential failure, or final outcomes to focus the entirety of your attention on the immediate execution of a single task. Obsessing over a final result creates a state of anxiety that actively hinders performance. Mastery emerges only when you surrender completely to the immediate process. The final stage of cognitive rewiring involves surviving the sheer, mind-numbing monotony of repetitive practice, the point where most people eventually give up. Michael Phelps maintained a training routine that required swimming 80 kilometers every single week. This level of success is built on a willingness to endure profound boredom, performing the same strokes with precision thousands of times over. High-performance disciplines use a do, observe, correct loop. The observe phase requires mental detachment. You watch the outcome neutrally, gathering data without emotional judgment. In the correct phase, you apply micro-adjustments based on that data, feeding changes into the next action. True mastery involves extracting deep intellectual joy from the unglamorous, repetitive observation of your own work. This entire protocol could have been summarized in a fast-paced 30-second short. It would have been easy to list these steps and move on. But delivering the information instantly would have provided the exact fast food dopamine hit this entire protocol is fighting against. The South African wild fig tree survives devastating droughts by driving its roots 400 feet into the earth to reach hidden water reserves. Fast-paced media functions like weak seeds thrown on topsoil, surviving only while conditions are perfect. Patient, long-form study allows foundational roots to grow deep into the mind. In a future where AI handles repetitive and basic tasks, deep human creativity is our only remaining currency. That currency is forged exclusively by those brave enough to sit quietly in a room with their own boredom.